We played The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap this week. Which I always feel is like a slightly awkward title. I don't know, probably because of the two thes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And it came out in Japan on November 4th, 2004, and came out in America on January 10th, 2005. Came out in Europe, I lost the date, but it was in between there, and it was one of the only examples of Europe getting a Zelda game before North America did, which is weird. I think it came out in December there. But yeah, it's a great game. The end. No.
It's really, so I haven't beaten it. I'm gonna keep playing it, but yeah, no, I'm so happy that we finally dove into it, because wow, great art style. I love the story is simple.
Yep.
Who knew that'd be so refreshing? And then the shrinking mechanic is great, and it just goes to show you can have a traditional Zelda game that's kind of linear, but if you do interesting gameplay mechanics, then it makes it kind of special. So
I think we can all agree we would love these mechanics in like a main, not mainline, because this is a mainline game, but a console, like a not handheld Zelda game. We came close, because I don't know if you saw, there were, back when Twilight Princess was in development, I mean not Twilight Princess, Tears of the Kingdom. When Tears of the Kingdom was in development, they did all these interviews where they talked about how the Minish were almost in Breath of the Wild. They didn't really expand upon how they would have been used. I don't know if you would have shrunk down like in this game, but I really want a new Zelda game with this shrinking mechanic. It's so cool.
Yeah, I just, like I said, the art style, the fact that the story is literally just the evil wizard comes in and goes, "Oh, Princess Zelda, oh, you're stoned now, ha!" And then it's like, oh, there's this entire race of other people that, we didn't really mention, but they can help you. And I like that they integrate this being small into like the world design across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm only on trying to get to the second dungeon, I think, but even just walking through the village and seeing there are places which I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to be able to be small and go in all these. All right, that's awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I think 2D Zelda offers in terms of structure that's kind of better than the last two Zelda games we've gotten, which are great, not throwing them under the bus, but they're different for sure. The open world, open puzzle thing, definitely for everything you gain, you lose something. And one thing that I think the more structured Zelda games have is there's like a very specific way to solve every puzzle. And I feel like you feel much better about solving the puzzles in this type of game versus like a Breath of the Wild, because think of how often you walk in a shrine in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, and you see how the game designers want you to solve this puzzle, but you're like, but I'm just going to do this instead. And there's like a workaround. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of the motion ones. Yeah. It's like I'm just flipping the thing over and launching the ball over there. I'm not doing your maze.
And that doesn't happen in like the 2D Zelda games, because there's always like a very specific way to solve a puzzle.
No, I mean, again, I'm not that very, very far in it, but I'm gonna finish it. And I love that the first boss was just a choo-choo jelly, and it's like, well, you're small now, so now it's gigantic.
Yeah, they play with so much of that. It's so cool. Like you're seeing like giant acorns and stuff when you're walking through the tall grass, or like you're in like a barrel. Like there's so many. I don't know. I really love this game. Well, we'll get to it in a minute, but I also hate that it's been over 10 years since Link Between Worlds. That was the last like traditional Zelda
10 years
game.
Over?
That came out, December of 2013.
2013.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. I didn't play this game originally on GBA. I was surprised and impressed by how bold like they made these graphics like just very bright, very bold colors to use.
I feel like that's a
for a Zelda
Capcom thing
game.
too. I feel like if Nintendo made this game, the art would not look like that. For better or worse, just an observation.
Do you think it? I mean, from your memory, does it look any better on the Switch? Did it look different on the Advance? Or also, I'll just add this part. Did the size of the Minish Cap on Advance make it difficult ever, Kevin? Like when you played it originally?
What do you mean the size of it? Like
I was thinking, I was thinking like playing
the screen,
like the size of your GBA screen, and perhaps if you played on an older GBA, and the size of the Minish Cap. I was just thinking, going through the game, thinking about why Nintendo made or why Capcom, made certain decisions on.
I'm pretty sure I would have played this game on. I had and I still have it, the adapter for the GameCube where you can play Game Boy Advance games on the GameCube, and I'm almost positive that's how I played this game. So unfortunately I can't answer that question, because back in the day, like, I abused the hell out of that thing. I used that thing. I think I played all my Game Boy Advance games on that, even though I had a Game Boy Advance.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I remember having that too. I had that. I had the battery block that went underneath it or above it. Yeah, it just like the whole setup. Yeah, but I was just unsure because I was thinking back to when we did what Metroid game did we do? Where in
Metroid 2, Return of Samus?
Right, where they would use Nintendo would use like the size of Samus and the size of the map to expand it more. Like, if you make Samus, if you make it smaller, then you can make different areas of the map that you can go into. So I just was wondering, how the decisions came about of how, we're gonna make Link small, which in return makes the world big, and then also makes this other world that Link goes into. I just thought there was lots of interesting, very bold decisions that were made in developing this game. And I'm not that far either. I'm through the second boss, and I'm very surprised by knowing that it's a shorter Zelda game, the amount of depth, the amount of techniques and items that they have.
I've never collected all the Kinstones, and I might actually try to do that this time, just so I have something new I did.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I even like that mechanic, though, because normally that would be something like you find it and you just click and nope, that's not it. I like that they do the little animation of trying to line them up, and I don't know. There's just a lot of little touches I like.
Yeah, this game has personality for sure. There's definitely a charm to the art style and the way it animates. Just like the way Link rolls is adorable.
Love it. Yeah.
Did you guys get to the dungeon with the minecart yet? I can't remember which one that is.
I think that's the one I'm getting to.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it, but there's an adorable moment in that dungeon as well. That's the word I'd use to describe this game. It's adorable in all the right ways.
It reminds me of Link's Awakening's remake.
Yeah,
sure, which makes me think we just need remakes of all of these games.
Yeah,
because I put on our notes that I've said it on here so many times that Link's Awakening remake has sold almost as many copies as Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask. It sold nearly 6.5 million copies, which is more than the original. Why would you not strike while the oven's hot? Everyone's playing Zelda right now. And also, like, it can't be that difficult. It can't be as expensive as making a new Zelda game. To like,
well, look at what I just said a few minutes ago. It's been 10 years over 10 years since A Link Between Worlds. If you just had a small development team on these, and they took 5 years to make, we could have had two 2D Zeldas in the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, just make it like they used to do them both too. That's another thing I don't get, where they gave up on this, because I'm pretty sure this came out relatively close to Wind Waker. Like, I don't have the dates in front of me, but I know it felt like for a while, like you'd get a console Zelda game, and then like 2 years later you'd get a handheld one, and then you get another console one, and then another handheld one, and they were like one after, they did them both at the same time. Yeah,
I just don't get it. Like, I mean, Link's Awakening Remake is the 10th best-selling Zelda game of all time, including everything, including every mainline game. I mean, like, I just don't see like why they just wouldn't release all the rest of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Minish Cap or Oracle of Ages remake on a new system. Link Between Worlds, remake. So, yeah. I was very happy with the R button dodge roll in this game. I felt like the combat in this game felt like a great continuation from a game like Link's Awakening, where it never felt too overwhelming, and it felt like the dodge roll just made it easier to traverse through the world. It's actually a mechanic I wish were in a lot of other games, where I'm like, I just want to be able to sprint or like get through this section a little bit quicker. And also we mentioned how like cute, adorable this game is. Do you find the story of this game to be a bit dark at all? Like,
it's a little dark. It has a hint. Yeah, I liked that though.
They do turn Zelda into stone, right? Like,
well, Vaati is such a dark villain. He wears purple, for crying out loud. Like, and he's got gray hair and red eyes. How do you get darker than that?
Yeah. I find like again, like, especially like with same with like Yoshi's Island, where it's like we kidnapped the baby, you know, like, and like you got to get the baby back, or we take the baby for, I don't know why they want the baby, but you know, like, it's like, so despite it being like,
I want to know more about the Minish being in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
like that's my main takeaway from this week. Thinking about this game, it's like, were you able to shrink down? Were they just like there and like you could see them? Were they like the Koroks, where they'd be hidden places? I want to know more about that. Oh, would you see like a little tiny Minish town?
Oh, that would.
I don't know. I really, but like, I don't know. It's, of all the Zelda gimmicks, this is a staunch statement, but of all the gimmicks, including time travel and, you know, motion controls, and all the different Zelda gimmicks, I think this might be my favorite one. And it's unfortunate that it doesn't seem like it's ever going to get explored again.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Like I said, I mean, here's a game I've ranked and I haven't finished, but I'm going to continue playing it. So, I mean, it's made a huge impact on just the little bit of time I've spent with it.
It's underrated too. I feel like it doesn't come up enough in the conversation of great Zelda games, where you always hear the same like 4 games over and over again. You hear like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom now. This doesn't get brought up. Off A Link to the Past always gets brought up. This deserves to be in that conversation, I feel. And you know what, that's a perfect way to segue into where I ranked it. We can keep talking about it after this, but so the thing that was most on my mind about this game this week, I was trying to figure out, do I like this more than Ocarina of Time? Can I rank this above Ocarina of Time? Because obviously I was on the hype train for that when it first came out. I don't want to put that game down, but the more time I spend with Ocarina of Time, the more the game is like in focus, and I can like picture like the full map of each area in my mind, and I just kind of see the game for what it is, you know what I mean? And there's not like no nostalgia goggles, just pure like I can see it for all its flaws. And I still like it, but believe it or not, I think I am going to rank this above Ocarina of Time. And I'm going to put this number 3 on my list, right below Toe Jam and Earl. And I do not rank it above A Link to the Past, but I do rank it above Ocarina of Time.
So yeah, I also ranked it above Ocarina of Time, but I don't have the love of that Momo and so many do.
I still have love for it, but like I feel like I can look at it from an objective point of view after having finished it like 50 times.
So I put Minish Cap at number 8, which puts it under Mario World and above Ice Hockey. So my NES sports games are slowly getting knocked out of the top 10.
Don't just breeze past that, man. Like, you're putting this right below Super Mario World. You know, that's a big, even if it is number 8, that's a big compliment.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty stacked top 10 with my one bizarre choice there right in the middle. But I don't know. I like Ocarina of Time. It's just I don't have the nostalgia or anything for it. But
yeah, it didn't hit you at the past.
Right time. It's just hard to top that, but it's really good. So.
For me, pretty close to Sean. I'm putting it number 7, which for me would be right below Yoshi's Island and right above Toe Jam and Earl.
Okay.
Above. And my top 5 still remain. So my top 5 are 3 Zelda games and 3 Mario games and 2 Zelda games.
And I see that one of them is A Link to the Past, and I feel like it's worth pointing out that if there was ever a gold standard, like I feel like A Link to the Past is always going to be the game that any 2D Zelda is just like compared to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I agree.
Well, it might be spoiler for a future episode, but I would still put, you know, like I'd imagine I put Link's Awakening above this game, because I really like Link's Awakening, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
That'll be interesting if that comes up, because I've only ever played the remake. So,
you know,
that's true.
I think I told this story on the podcast, but it's funny, I played the original so much, and then when the remake came out, I was just like, my wife knew that I was excited for a new Zelda game, and she saw me like start it up for the first time, and she's like, how do you know where to go? How do you know how to do all these things? And I'm like, I've actually beaten this game like 1,000. She did not understand the concept of a remake. I was like, I've actually beaten this game a bunch. This is just like a new look to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where. Like, I can't wait till we do some more of these Zelda games, because there's 11 of them on Switch, and how many on the online service? I don't know, but like there's a lot. So it'll be interesting to see where it eventually ranks up with other 2D Zelda games.
Yeah, I agree. I had some thoughts from the internet on this game, so let me make sure we get those in here. Let's see. Sorry. All right, here we go. We got Star-Lord 76. I don't think it's really him, but says, I've only played it once, and that was 10 years ago, but that was definitely not my... Oh, never mind. Sorry. I came away from the game thoroughly satisfied and considering it an underappreciated gem, though it's been long enough since I played it that I couldn't describe to you why I think it's an underappreciated gem. Yeah. Here's another one. Don't exactly remember many things, but that game was good and made me emotional in the end. My second favorite is The Oracle of Ages. I haven't played Seasons yet. Link's Awakening is incredible. The music still makes me emotional. That was that one. So people like this game. People, I had more. I lost them.
Yeah, I thought the music was just okay. I don't know.
Well, it definitely just uses music from the other Zelda games, so I think that's why people like it. This was definitely like, for some reason, they just combined a ton of stuff from other Zelda games in this game. A lot of other references.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that there's bombs and how do you say it? Lakitus?
Yeah,
saying that weird.
No, that sounds right. Lakitu.
Right. Which always kind of throws off my immersion a little bit, but it's kind of cool, like where where we talked about like how like when you play like an old NES sports game and you still feel like you're in a Nintendo world. Seeing Mario enemies in a Zelda game is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And if any of you get stuck, Lavos YT says talking to your hat usually gives you a hint about where to go next. Plus, your goal is often marked on your map. So there you go. If any of you needed to know that. So let's find out what we're going to be playing next week for the old spotlight section here. All right, we're going to throw in our Nintendo 64 cartridge, and we're going to do this one for Harrison. We're playing Pokemon Snap next week. Yay! Ooh. I can retell my story about how I went to Blockbuster to get my Pokemon card, and the guy didn't know what a Bulbasaur was.
And I can play it with the proper controller.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you